Hi, it's Anna Mason. We all know that red roses are known for their romantic symbolism. But with the rich, velvety and almost smoky quality to their petals, they can be a real challenge to paint in watercolour. So in this tip video, I thought I'd show you how I went about painting this red rose so as I achieved all those effects. Let me walk you through it. I worked from a photograph of a rose I'd taken and created a detailed outline drawing marking out all of the petals within the full centre. Initially I painted with pale watery washes all of the slightly different colours within the flower as well as the leaf and stem, so that I could see what colours needed to go where. When it came to the more smoky grey colours within the petals, I added my dark grey, Payne's grey, as well as some of my brown, which is burnt sienna, into some of the crimson colour, which was my base colour for the rose in general. Keeping the mix watery, I applied it to the petals that had this more grey hue. Once that was dry, I created a much thicker version of the smoky, almost black colour to apply to the very darkest parts of the petals. Then I watered the mix down a little to extend it out to the next darkest areas with this more grey colour to them. I made sure that I stippled with my brush to achieve the amount of visual texture that I could see in these petals. That left the petals looking too disjointed and high contrast. So once the layer had dried, I applied a brighter crimson mix over the top as a glaze in some areas, to unify the texture and achieve a brighter colour, while still getting some of the smoky velvety effects coming through. Next, I worked on darkening the midtones in the rest of the petals, using fairly thick mixes and changing the colours in my mix to match the colours I could see in the reference photo. With those darkened, I could see that the lighter tone areas which had the more grey, velvety colour to them needed darkening some more. So I used a fairly watery purplish grey mix to darken some, and my Payne's grey burnt sienna mix again to apply to the more grey-brown areas. Then I went on to darken the lighter tone areas throughout the flower with the brighter colours that I could see within the reference photo. With the lighter tones darkened, I could begin the stage of tonal adjustments, going back to the darkest tones and darkening them some more, before going on to darken the mid-tones with another layer, making sure to keep altering the colours in my mix to match all the different shades that I could see within the photo. Then I could again darken up the more purple grey and brown grey petals with another fairly watery mix. Darkening gradually in this way means that you don't risk taking what are basically some of the highlights within the painting too dark too quickly, which would have the effect of flattening the painting. Instead, we can achieve some 3D effects with the petals so that the flower really pops off the paper. Once the leaves and petals had been painted, and therefore darkened, I could see that the darkest tones within the flower could be darkened once again, and I made those final adjustments until I was happy that the flower looked soft and velvety enough to want to bury my nose into. A full video tutorial of this red rose is available now in my online school. If you've enjoyed this tip video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'd love it if you'd share this video with your friends. And if you'd like to take one of my tried and tested video classes for free, please visit annamasonart.com, where you'll find even more resources to help you pick up your brush and paint the way you've always wanted to. And remember, you won't improve your painting unless you make the time to paint, so be sure to schedule in some me time this week and paint something that you love. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another tip for creating watercolours with wow.